In this video, I'm going to cover gaslighting. What is it in relationships? I'm going to cover 13 specific examples. I'm going to show you what it sounds like and looks like. I'm going to talk about signs that you feel if you're on the receiving end of gaslighting. Then I'm going to talk about what to do and what not to do if you're in a relationship with someone like this. And I can already tell you it's bad news, all right? So make sure you watch this video because I think by the end, you're going to have a better sense of whether you should try to stay and work on this relationship or leave. There's a lot of definitions online. The basic idea here is that the other person behaves in a way that kind of shuts down your experience and has you second guessing yourself, questioning reality, and wondering, wait, am I crazy? Is it me? Is it them? What's going on here? Right? You start to question your feelings, your instincts, and your sanity. You start to doubt yourself. And think of gaslighting as the person has a flamethrower. They're standing here defending themselves. They'll never take any responsibility. And you're on the other side of the flame, and they're like this, just going all around 360 degrees. So they're like smoking out and gassing out the entire relationship and anyone that tries to come in and have them take responsibility. So they're alone, kind of protected. And you get just nuked by their BS, all right? That's kind of like gaslighting. Okay, this is most often seen in very dysfunctional, insecure relationships, adult relationships, where it can also be parent-child, but we're going to focus on the adult relationships since that's what this channel is about. It often shows up in a intimate partnership. And the person who's the gaslighter, who's got the flamethrower, usually has some kind of issue, early developmental trauma that has them behave this way. And labels such as narcissistic personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, schizoid personality disorder can all make sense if you understand what those are. And I've done many videos on those here on YouTube. So go check those out. That's usually the person who's doing the gaslighting, okay? And on the receiving end, let's say that's you, you're more on the codependent spectrum where you find yourselves in unfair, non-mutual relationships where you get treated poorly. That's kind of your side of it. Now, it's very tempting for you to go, well, they just need to change and this relationship will be better. But I'm going to tell you why that's not a good idea. By the end of the video, I think you'll have a couple steps you can do because you're kind of powerless against this type of person. Okay, so we got to get you the power back. Okay, so here are some very concrete examples of things people actually say and do when they're gaslighting. So this is the gaslighter, and this is what they say. Check it out. That never happened. You're being paranoid. Everyone knows you're crazy. You're such a liar. This is all your fault. You never remember things correctly. I didn't do that. Your friends don't even like you. I took money out of your account because I love you. You're lucky I'm here to help you because no one else would bother. I mean, if you don't do this for me, you're being selfish. Now, you've seen those 13 examples, so it's painful, right? It's like, oh man, these are abusive. Yeah, so we'll talk about abusive relationships here in a minute. This has you feeling what? Well, here are some examples of the most common things people feel and experience on the receiving end of this flamethrower gaslighter, all right? You might ask yourself and question yourself, am I too sensitive? Am I too needy? Am I too much for this person? Am I too emotional for this person? You often feel confused and even crazy. You're often apologizing to your partner, I'm sorry, it must be me. And you do this weird flip where you start to think it's actually you and you make it about you and you overly take responsibility. And so then they get left off the hook. They don't have to do anything differently because you're like trying to be a good person and a good partner, which is kind of like translates into good boy, good girl, good little kid who doesn't want to upset mom and dad and lose the relationship. So you're tiptoeing, you're walking on eggshells, you're doubting yourself. You can't understand why, with all this other good stuff in your life, why your relationship life can't work out. You over-explain yourself, and you even, to friends and family members, you protect the gaslighter by not talking too much shit about them. And because you're like, you feel so much shame and insecurity about the relationship, you don't want everybody else to know that you're with a person who's kind of a nightmare. You know something is terribly wrong, but you have enough self-doubt that you don't trust it and do something about it. You start lying in order to avoid the put downs and the reality spins and twists. You'll withhold from the gaslighter, you'll withhold from them and even lie to them because you don't want more gas flamethrower coming at you, right? More manipulative comments, more denial, more twisting reality. You don't want that. So you start to withhold on all kinds of levels, your emotions, your truth, etc. This starts to creep into your self-doubt when making even just simple decisions, right? You start to get even more doubtful. You start to get depressed, anxious, hopeless, and you start to lose that joy and that spark that you normally have. And you wonder if you're a good enough partner, a good enough person, that you can't do anything right. Unfortunately, you take their bullshit behavior as like about you and you make it about you, and then you judge yourself and put yourself down. And then that person has even more power over you. So this is all not good, right? So what do we do and what do we not do if we're feeling this kind of thing and we're with someone who says these kinds of things? I can assure you right now with 100% certainty that you can have a mutual partnership and you deserve that and you deserve better. And you've got to realize that. You've got to start getting inside yourself and valuing yourself more and more. And I'll tell you why this is so important. And this has to do with what not to do. So this starts to look like, this whole relationship you're in starts to look like an abusive relationship. And you don't work on abusive relationships. You leave them. Okay? I want to repeat that. You don't work on abusive relationships, like go to therapy and get coaching and read books and listen to podcasts and watch this YouTube video, trying to improve the relationship. No. The more you do that, the more you condone the behavior and basically say, it's okay to abuse me. It's okay to treat me like shit. I'm going to keep working on it so that you don't do that. But I'll spend years in this dysfunctional, fucked up, hurtful relationship trying to work on it while you abuse me. No. Okay, that's crazy making. So you've got to get in reality and be like, whoa, this is not okay that I'm treated like this. I deserve better. I can have better because Jason and other people I trust are saying, yeah, you can find people who don't treat you like this, that actually respect you, that have a mutual relationship, that say, oh, my bad. I take responsibility for my part in our fight. I want to repair with you, etc. There's lots of videos I have on how to repair. I've got a great one with my wife and I, an example. You want to watch that video so you see what's possible. You can have a relationship like that, okay? I guarantee you can. But you've got to put the focus of control instead of being out here on how do I manipulate and try to mitigate the gaslighting and work on the relationship. You've got to turn the attention on yourself and say, what do I need to do to feel confident enough to leave this relationship because I deserve better? And that becomes a 6-month, year-long, 2-year-long, however long it takes, process of your empowerment. This whole gaslighting bullshit is helping you get empowered if you see it that way. In this way, your relationship and your partnership becomes a vehicle for you to value yourself more and become a stronger, more self-confident person who will eventually have a better, mutual, strong, secure relationship. Okay? Do not tolerate abuse of any kind in your relationship. You leave those relationships, you don't work on them. Okay? Yeah, it's a lot to take in, I know. And people who gaslight are almost impossible to be with. Almost impossible. And the reason I'm saying almost is the only time that they can change is if they are willing to come to couples, really good couples therapy or coaching with a master level coach or therapist that you pay a lot of money for because of their experience, because they can deal with this kind of person with you in the room or on Zoom. That once in a while you can see a person make traction there, but they have to have an aha themselves and be like, yeah, that's not cool that I do that to you. They have to understand that their gaslighting flamethrower behavior is so hurtful to you and it's so awful. And they're protecting this deeply wounded person inside themselves, and they need to work on that. And that's really exceptionally rare. That's like 1/100th of 1%. I mean, it's so minuscule, the type of success rates people have with a gaslighting person. Now, the last thing I want to say before we pause here on this video and let you get back to your life is we have to be honest that sometimes we gaslight. And the difference is a gaslighter is sitting behind the flamethrower all the time doing this, and that's kind of their MO, always protecting themselves, never taking any responsibility. When we occasionally make what might feel like a gaslighty comment to another person, like maybe some of the examples I shared here in this video, we once in a blue moon, we do things that are stupid. We say something that's stupid or hurtful or mean. We raise our voice, or we have an edge or a tone, or we make a snarky comment that hurts our partner's feelings. We have to be honest about that. And then we have to repair that and clean up that mess that we created. But that's the difference between you and a full-on gaslighter type of person, is you're willing to go, oops, I messed up, my bad. I can see how that hurt your feelings. All right. And again, please watch my videos on how to repair and the skills you need to repair, because if you do that, then it's like, okay, we can make mistakes in our relationship once in a while and it's fine. But this chronic gaslighting is so unfair and so not okay. You got to get out of these kind of relationships and move on, okay, and do the work required. When we have an amazing course called Relationship Mastery, and inside that course, you can learn how to leave a relationship, because you'll feel your confidence will go up and you'll be like, okay, I have the community and resources now to do this, because it's really scary. Okay, you got this. Like this video if it was helpful. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and we'll see you in the next video.